Our second method of financial appraisal is return on investment. Now, when you look at textbooks and you look at return on investment, there are several different categories covered by this return on investment umbrella. Return on capital employed, return on initial investment, return on investment. Now, as I say, this is a project management module. It's not a financial module. However, I've spoken to the financial expert, and he says that the method that I teach is actually called the accounting rate of return. You must use the method that I'm using on my module. If you're studying a finance module, you must use whatever method they teach you. Now, the basic equation for return on investment is that the return on investment is the average annual profit times 100% divided by the initial investment. Okay, here's a good exam tip. If an exam question said calculate the return on investment, the first thing you do is you write that equation down. You have to remember that equation. Write the equation down, and I can give you a mark because as a student you're demonstrating you understand what return on investment is. Look at the equation. It says the average annual profit. A big mistake for students is they use the income values. You have to calculate the profit to be able to use this equation. In an exam question, very often, I will give you the profit. So there's nothing else to calculate. So let's have a look at this as an example. Here we have a project. It has an investment of £300,000 and the profit per year is £90,000 and the project has a duration of 3 years. So to calculate the return on investment, we need to find the average annual profit. So the total profit is £90,000. The average annual profit is therefore going to be £30,000. Put these figures into our equation and we work out that the return on investment is 10%. Now, a problem with return on investment is it doesn't consider the time value of money. Again, it is assuming that that profit we make in years 2 and 3 is treated the same as the profit we make in year 1. Another problem is it looks at the average annual profit. Now, I've got 2 examples in this slide of a project that makes a £90,000 profit. The first one on the left there, in year 1 makes £60,000, year 2 makes £20,000 and year 3 makes £10,000. But we could have a £90,000 profit with £10,000 in year 1, £20,000 in year 2 and £60,000 in year 3. And the question is the left project incomes better than the right project? The answer is it's better to get your money back early. Money, as it goes into the future, is worth less and less. Now, if our project was to fail or stop at 2 years, at least on project 1, we've got most of our money back. The project on the right, we haven't recovered hardly anything as profit before the project stops. So what makes for a good return on investment? Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're manufacturing cheap pens, biros, then you're probably happy with a return on investment of 5, 6, 7%. If your return on investment is 2%, you could be better leaving your money in the bank. And it's interesting to look over the 10 years I've been doing these lectures that in some cases I have to say, if the return on investment is 5%, leave your money in the bank. It is safer. Of course, in more recent times, leaving your money in the bank might not be safer, and you certainly won't be getting 5%. If your project is a really complex IT project, a stranger project, something like a new phone development, then you will be wanting return of investments of 30, 40, 50% to reflect the risk. So return on investment will give you a percentage. It enables you to compare 2 projects. And remember that a small return on investment might be okay for an easy project. For a larger project, you'll be looking for a higher return on investment due to its risks and complexity. Also remember that the return on investment uses an average annual profit. And as we said for the payback section, it is very unlikely that you'll get the same average annual profit each year. It will be spread differently through the years.